Here are actually some of our coastal cameras from Myrtle, Beaufort, Georgetown, and Charleston. Look at that beautiful sunrise. We've got calm winds, beautiful temperatures, though warm in those mid to upper 70s so far today. Here's really all across the state, from Columbia at 75 degrees, Sumter at 74, Orangeburg at 73, and then like I said, warming up down by the coast, 77 in Charleston, 79 in Beaufort, a little bit cooler there in the upstate. Now, it's National Creme Brulee Day, and what a beautiful, delicious day that is. It's going to be a warm day. It's going to be 77 degrees by 8 a.m. and then we get into the 90s between 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. We'll see our high temperature in the lower 90s between then and 6 p.m. Now, here's a look at our forecast models for today. It's going to be a mostly sunny day, but we'll start to see some clouds move in this afternoon, providing just some relief. Now, some of the models are indicating just a small chance to see a pop-up shower here or there as we go into the afternoon, though I expect most of us will remain dry. Now, I think tomorrow will also remain dry, so let's take a look ahead towards the weekend. Here by Saturday at noon, this is when we're really going to see our best chance to see some showers and storms then. It's continuing throughout Saturday as we go throughout our weekend. Again, just a scattered shower or two, certainly not all day events, and we will see that sunshine. Just like today, few clouds, plenty of sunshine, a high temperature of 94 degrees, 96 for your Friday, mostly sunny, and then those rain chances start to move in. Partly cloudy day, heat indexes at 104 for Saturday and Sunday. We'll see a better chance for storms on Sunday, and that's going to stick around as we begin our next work week.
All right, thank you so much, Erin. Okay, like so many of you, we love the Richland Library. Not only is it a great place to check out books and do research and really just an all-around great place to hang out, but they also have a number of incredible programs. And with me right now is, I just love her, is our friend, is the Queen of Visibility digital strategist, Roshonda Pratt, who's here to talk to us about the Entrepreneur in Residence program and specifically what you will be offering as their Entrepreneur in Residence.
Whit, it is so great to start my morning with you. I'm so glad to be here with you again, friend.
Yes, what y'all need to know is we were cutting up right before we came on air. All right, so talk to us about what the Entrepreneur in Residence program is for folks who don't know.
So it's really a great program that the library offers. So think of this as me coming in as your business silent partner or your business mentor. This is an opportunity for the library to help support our growing entrepreneur and business community. So for the month of July and August, I get an opportunity to work with our business community, sharing with them some of my successes, my journeys, answering their business questions, and then also providing programs to help support them to grow their business.
Oh, this is so incredible because the library is literally connecting you with an expert. And as many of you know, Roshonda is a familiar face. So you already know, she knows what she's talking about. She didn't get called the Queen of Visibility for nothing, y'all. Now talk to us specifically about what you will be offering.
Yeah, so I get an opportunity to work one-on-one with our business community. People can actually sign up for a free coaching session with me for 45 minutes, asking their pressing business questions. And then they get an opportunity to attend one of my programs happening August the 10th, which I'm so excited. I get an opportunity to talk about what we have done so many years working as journalists, helping people understand how to gain more visibility online by creating video content.
Absolutely. Now, one of the things that Ro taught me is that social media really is king in the age that we are living in right now. And I think that one of the things that I have loved following your journey is that everybody has a story and they can use that to amplify their voice. So can you give us just a little taste of what they will hear in this program?
So on August the 10th, 6 o'clock, okay, again, this is totally free with your library card. It's the card that you want to have in your pocket, okay? And so you could come to this event. It's going to be at the main branch there on Assembly, and you get an opportunity to work one-on-one with me and me showing you how to finally create the video content and how to show up online so you can be seen, heard, and ultimately paid.
Listen, especially the way these gas prices and grocery prices are looking right now. Now, let me ask you this too, and we're digging into a little bit about what you'll talk about What is one of the things that or an opportunity that you think is missed for a lot of people when it comes to social media?
I think what happens is people don't realize that social media, or as I like to say, your smartphone is the new remote control. People are spending a lot of time there scrolling, which is equivalent to flipping the channel. And what you have to understand is you have to give people an opportunity or a reason to stop their scroll and watch you. You have to understand you either the consumer or the producer. The producer is the one who's in control. The consumer is the one who's just consuming the information. And I always want business owners to understand, be the producer, because the producer is the one who's controlling the narrative.
Y'all, I feel like my life has been changed, and we just got a nice little 3-minute interview here. If you liked what you heard, if this is something that you feel like can really help your business, I'm telling you, you're going to want to sign up for it, because we got a little taste of what you will see on August 10th. Now tell us where they can sign up.
So if you go to richlandlibrary.com, you will have the events page there. It'll tell you all the information. You can be there in person or virtual, but I'm telling you, you want to be there in person because I'm giving away some of my favorite business books, and also I'm giving away one of my favorite content creation tools. That's called a tease in the TV business.
It is, and she taught me how to do a tease. You can see that right there on your screen. Also, friends, we're going to put this on our website, WLTX.com. Ro, it is always a pleasure.
My favorite, one of my favorite people. Glad to be here, sis.
Yes. All right, friends, well, coming up after the break, we'll have 3 things you need to know happening around the country, including the latest on a crane incident that injured several people in Manhattan. We'll have the details next. Time now 6:24. Here are three things you need to know happening around the world this morning. First up, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell sparked concern on Capitol Hill when he froze and stopped talking near the top of his weekly news conference. He was escorted away by colleagues before returning a few minutes later to answer reporter questions. A McConnell aide said the 81-year-old GOP lawmaker felt lightheaded and stepped away for a moment. Well, at least two firefighters, along with other people, are recovering from injuries this morning after a construction crane caught on fire and then collapsed in the Hell's Kitchen area of Manhattan. Now, all of this happened yesterday. A local fire department says a crane carrying 16 tons of concrete came crashing down 45 stories onto a busy street during the morning rush hour. Authorities are investigating what started the fire in the crane's engine compartment. At least a dozen people suffered minor injuries. And finally, defense attorneys and prosecutors have some homework to do after Hunter Biden's plea deal unraveled in Wilmington, Delaware. The federal judge in the tax and gun possession case raised concerns about the terms of the agreement and her role in it. She gave both sides 30 days to answer her questions before she makes a decision.
One thing to know about your Thursday weather today is that you're going to see a mostly sunny day today. Plenty of sunshine with just a few clouds. Near average temperatures for today, but that isn't going to stop our heat index of heating to feeling like 101 degrees outside for today.
All right, Erin, sounds good. Thank you so much. Well, in a miraculous stroke of culinary genius, someone thought that topping vanilla custard with a brittle crust of caramelized sugar would taste so good. And of course they were wrong, because it tastes incredible. That's why it needs a national holiday to celebrate. So we're celebrating Whitney's favorite dessert here, National Creme Brulee Day. So because of this, it's our question of the morning. We want to know what your favorite dessert is. Weigh in with your favorite by texting the number right there on your screen at 803-776-9508. Don't forget to include your name and where you're watching from this morning. And of course, we'll be going over your responses coming up a little bit later on in the show. Now, you mentioned it before. To make the perfect creme brulee, you have to have the torch.
Right.
And have you ever done the little spoon test? The ding.
Oh,
it has to have
absolutely.
That
It has to have that ding. Now, let me be honest with y'all, okay? Creme brulee is my favorite dessert when I'm feeling bougie. You know?
Okay.
But when I'm feeling chill, it's really like a warm chocolate chip cookie over vanilla ice cream. So my favorite dessert depends on my mood. But creme brulee definitely when I'm feeling like, you know, like a little, ooh, you know, just bougie.
A little creme brulee.
A little creme brulee. All right, you can tell us about your favorite dessert, 803-776-9508. We'll be right back. Good Friday Eve. Thank you so much for waking up with News 19. I'm Whitney Sullivan with Christy Calcagno and meteorologist Aaron Walker. We're a very color-coordinated crew, as Christy just pointed out. I love it. We didn't plan this at all. All right, friends, so we got some good stuff for you this morning. And today we're in Sumter, where the school district unveiled a new way for students to learn science, technology, engineering, and math on wheels. The STEM Explorer will allow students from all across the district to learn inside and outside the vehicle with 5 different learning stations. The STEM Explorer also includes a 3D printer, Legos, robotics, and drones as well. School officials say that the vehicle will visit all schools starting this year and even appear at football games and special events. How incredible. Hats off to the team with the Sumter County School District, because they have really outdone themselves with the way that they are innovating and continuing to work to appeal to students, especially in the area of STEM. I think this is a phenomenal idea. And again, the invitation stands. Please come visit us here at News 19 because I want to check this out as well.
And this is going to make it so fun for these students. I mean, I saw already a Nintendo Switch. I saw some game controllers. They're able to be using a 3D printer, which I've always wanted to use. So it's just going to make this a lot more fun. Plus, you're all doing it in a school bus.
Yes.
Like a fun bus.
Yeah, and talk about the students being able to utilize something that they wouldn't normally be able to in schools. As we know, it can be difficult for schools to get things like this, but now everyone at Sumter is going to get the opportunity because the bus said it's going to go around to each school. So how cool is that, guys?
Oh, we love it. So again, huge shout out to Sumter County. I can't wait to hear about how successful this program is. All right, so we also got to hear about how hot it's going to be. We're talking 90s.
Oh, yes, we are. It's another 90s day here in the Midlands, along with that humidity. Here's some live looks across the state for your Thursday morning. Looking beautiful in Clemson, Rock Hill, Aiken, and in Charleston. Now, let's get to your forecast. Currently outside, it is 77 in Charleston, 74 in Sumter, 75 in Columbia, and in Orangeburg, 73 degrees in the upstate, about 75 degrees there in Greenville. Here's how the temperatures are going to be as we head outside the door for today. We're going to get into those 80s by 9 a.m. It's going to be a mostly sunny day today, so we're going to see plenty of sunshine. 86 degrees by 11 a.m. and then by 1 p.m. we are in those 90s. Near your official outlook today, we're going to see a high temperature in the lower 90s. Again, a mostly sunny day, just a few clouds. We'll make sure that we need protection as we head outside today. Drink plenty of water, but there is rain chances coming up this weekend. We'll take a look at the forecast models coming up.
All right, Aaron, we appreciate you. Now, we begin your headlines this half hour in Lexington County, specifically over in the Chapin area. There's a potential for a new subdivision around Mount Vernon Church Road that has residents feeling a bit uneasy.
Yeah, and that's where we find News 19's Peyton Lewis, who's where they're hoping to build these new homes.
Residents in the Richland County part of Chapin are pushing back against this field you see behind me here becoming 110 homes. The Pult Group, a development company out of Atlanta, are the ones proposing the project, and they're hoping to build single-family homes on the 50.78 acres of land. According to the Pult Group website, the company has already started to build homes in the Columbia area and is hoping to expand after building the Grand Arbor community in Blythewood. The 50-acre field sits right off of Broad River Road, where couple Patricia and Bryant live.
Well, it was cotton fields. It's like a beautiful little corner over there across from the school. Sorry to see that go. Traffic is the main thing because obviously we live on Broad River Road. We have to turn onto Broad River Road, and in the morning when there's traffic, we can't make a left. There's too many cars. And sometimes the traffic is backed up from the exit, peak exit, that's 1.7 miles, and sometimes it's backed up to the intersection at Mount Vernon, 0.4 miles. A lot of traffic here. How are they going to put, traffic for another 110 houses is, I don't think they can do it.
And the development was deferred at Tuesday's zoning meeting, but that means that the developer could come back with a new plan. Reporting in Chapin, Peyton Lewis, News 19 WLTX.
In our continuing coverage this morning, we do have an update on the River Bluff High School principal and his family. You'll remember Jacob Smith and his family were involved in that car crash in Hawaii last month. Now, according to the family's Caring Bridge website, Smith's daughter, Becca, continues to heal from her injuries in Atlanta. The family says that her mobility and short-term memory are improving, and they also continue to thank the community for all of their support. Earlier this month, Lexington School District 1 named Dr. Luke Clamp as the interim principal of River Bluff, while the family stays with their daughter in Georgia. And the search has ended for the Charleston child who was swept away by floods in Pennsylvania earlier this month. Authorities announced yesterday that they have exhausted all means of trying to find 9-month-old Conrad Shills. His mother and 2-year-old sister died in this flooding. The family was traveling from South Carolina to visit family at the time of this flood.
The committee raised the target range for the federal funds rate by a 1/4 percentage point, bringing the target range to 5.25% to 5.5%.
Well, you just heard from Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, who says inflation is improving, but not enough.
So the Federal Reserve raised its key interest rate by a 1/4 percentage point. And this is the 11th such increase since March of last year. As you just heard, it brings rates to a range between 5.25 and 5.5%. It's the highest it's been in 22 years. And as rates have gone up, inflation has been falling and is now at 3%. According to the Consumer Price Index, or CPI, items like appliances, TVs, and other electronics are actually dropping in price, but necessities like rent, electricity, and food continue to move higher.
Fed officials would like to see all the components of the CPI and other inflation measures, that all components are moving lower.
And the Fed's actions are easing inflation, but making it more expensive to borrow money. The average rate for a used car loan is 11%. Credit cards are close to record highs at 20.5%, and mortgage rates are near 7%, up from 5.5% just a year ago.
Well, this morning we want to take a closer look at where some of the prices at the grocery store stand.
And we're going to start with some good news. Chicken prices are actually lower than last year. Same with fresh fish, and store owners say that pricing on fresh fruit and vegetables is extremely competitive.
But grocery stores have less control over pricing on packaged products in the center aisles and freezer section. They're impacted by high labor cost. And when it comes to the breakfast staple cereal, well, those prices are up about 10% from this time last year because there's a lot of processing that goes into making cereal. Now, if you are looking to save money, here's a pro tip. Experts say the best bargains are usually not at eye level.
Look up, and this is an example where we're getting the store brand. The store label here is about $3 versus about $7 for the brand name.
Those store brands taste just as good. And when it comes to inflation, the Fed chair says it's possible we will see another rate hike in September. Coming up on News 19 this morning, our National Verified team is fact-checking a viral trend that you may have seen online, and they're confirming whether or not it's actually safe for you to try out.
Plus, we're discussing your Morning Rush headlines, where Newberry residents being warned of a check scam that's going around. Stay with us.
Also, I'm not sure if today is the best day to play pickleball outside today because it is such a hot summer day. We're going to be at 89 degrees by midday and then see our high temperature of 94 degrees this afternoon.
time now, it is 6:41, and a new holistic health trend involving borax has gone viral on TikTok. Ariande Till verifies if borax is safe to eat.
A popular TikTok trend says you should consume borax, which is commonly used as a laundry detergent or a cleaner, but this time as a natural health remedy.
Borax is amazing. It literally cleared my joint pain.
People claim just a little bit is all you need to treat ailments like rheumatoid arthritis and gout.
He took a pinch in his water daily and massive health improvements.
But is this safe? Let's verify. Our sources are U.S. Borax, which manufactures the industrial chemical, Dr. Kelly Johnson Arbor, medical director at the National Capital Poison Center, and the Food and Drug Administration.
I definitely think that it is unsafe for people to eat borax. And we know that borax can be poisonous.
That's Dr. Kelly Johnson Arbor with the National Capital Poison Center. She says some people might think borax is safe to ingest because it's made up of naturally occurring elements like boron, which can be found in things like plants, fruits, nuts, and even red wine. But she says the borax that you buy in store is different.
Really, the laundry formulations of borax are not safe for human consumption.
And in the U.S., borax is banned by the FDA for use in food products. So we can verify, no, it isn't safe to consume borax as a remedy for some common ailments. Honestly, you shouldn't eat borax at all. The U.S. Borax website says its products are, quote, labeled as not for internal use, and thus are not intended for internal related applications nor as an active ingredient. Side effects of ingesting or exposure to borax include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and skin rashes, skin pain, and peeling skin. That's if somebody bathes in borax. With your Verify, I'm Ariante Till.
Well, good Thursday morning. I'm News 19 meteorologist Erin Walker. Taking a look in the tropics, we are tracking another tropical system here with just a medium chance of development. I believe about a 40% chance of development over the next 7 days. So certainly we have some time, but always good to keep in mind. Currently outside, it is 75 degrees in Columbia, 76 in Lexington. It's cooler over there in Manning at 70 degrees, and then in Winsboro, 72, 73 in Saluda, and in Newberry. Now the dew points outside is really what I want to make note of, because we are all in that gross, uncomfortable, just it's sticky outside range. I can't stress enough. Even leaving for work so early this morning, I stepped outside and thought about how humid it was. And that humidity, it's only going to get worse as we continue throughout today, and that's going to make the heat index in the triple digits for us. Here's the temperature forecast though. By noon at 89 degrees, and then we'll get into the 90s by around 2 p.m. Get into those lower to mid 90s near 4 p.m. Now let's take a look at our forecast models, because like I said, it's going to be a mostly sunny day. We'll start to see some clouds move in by the afternoon. Here we are around 12:30. Now some of the models are picking up a possibility of a pop-up shower here and there. Seeing those chances around this evening, though, I think we will stay dry for the most part, and then we clear out, leaving us with just a partly cloudy evening for your Thursday night. Now, with this lack of cloud cover today, we're going to see a UV index of 10, which means it can be dangerous for some of us to be outside today. Make sure you have protection and stay hydrated. Here's your 5-day forecast. Today, a high temperature of 94 degrees with just a few clouds. 96 degrees for your Friday, mostly sunny. Then rain chances come into the forecast as we head into the weekend. And those heat indexes, they're at the dangerous range of 104 for Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures are starting to warm back up as we go into our next work week.